Every time we have an annual expo, one of the highlights of that meeting is always our annual gathering, the opportunity to sit down with our board, staff, and our delegates to talk about the important work of community and public transportation, what we've been doing over the last year, and our hopes for what we want to work on and accomplish in the year ahead. As all of you know, this has been a very frustrating year for us here in Washington, as we have continued to make our case for you of the important values in community and public transportation that need to be met by obtaining additional investment, especially for recapitalizing community and public transportation systems who need new vehicles to face their continuing needs of service and the challenges of new services and demand that have become a part of everyday business in community transportation. So during this gathering, Scott Bogren will be providing us with a briefing covering the latest issues and concerns in this area and what we know about the immediate future. We'll also be hearing from our distinguished board chairman, Rochelle Cody, who has some new and innovative ideas to share with you how we can stay better connected as an association as we help each other generate support and work on ideas that can be mutually supportive for all of our efforts, both those here in Washington and for those of you back home working hard to improve and to develop services. I'm going to talk a little bit at the gathering about the changing environment that we're in and some of the long-term changes that this environment has as a possibility of both a difficulty and an opportunity for us in the years ahead. Things in Washington, again, as you know, have been frustrating, but it does seem to us that this isn't just a general trend. It's one that's going to be with us for a continued long period. And we have ideas about how we can work with you and others to find ways to continue to advance the causes and needs associated with our industry. So this year, as in every gathering, we are setting aside discussion time to sit and talk about a couple of these issues as they relate to you and as they relate to our program. And this year there are three important areas that we want to sit and talk to you about, and I'd like to just give you a preview of what these discussion areas are. The first one will deal with your role as mobility providers in the changing and evolving communities and situations that you serve. We want to hear from you how you view your role today and how you see that role changing in the immediate future. Or, if you don't see any change, it would be really important for us to know why your situation is different. So our primary focus in this one part of our discussion will be how you see that role. The second part of our topics to discuss concern the situation with capital needs and the federal situation as it relates to your situation. Although we're not sure how the final version of transportation reauthorization will take place, or even if it will, we're concerned about the implications on the vehicle question. We know that if many of you received new federal funds, you will also need state and or local funds for your local share contributions for those vehicles. So we are very interested today in finding out from you where you are on that local share contribution. We've had a number of significant issues affecting medical transportation and the NEMT program over the last year, and we want to know if that situation